Not everyone will understand the language spoken by this Chevy Camaro.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong.
Chevy Citation is compact enough to fit into 3/4 of a parking space.
These fully race-prepped Chevy Camaros will be driven by 12 of the best drivers in the world.
1954 Chevy. You might be surprised to see the 1954 Chevy on a list of forgotten classics. After all, it was a massive hit back in its day, Chevrolet's top seller in 1954, with nearly 1.4 million units rolling off the line. It marked another victory in the post-Korean War boom, when American car culture was really starting to take off. But here's the thing. The 54 Chevy has always lived in the shadow of its younger siblings, the iconic 1955, 56, and 57 models, better known as the Tri-5 Chevys. Those cars stole the spotlight with their sleek styling and powerful V8 engines, becoming instant legends. Still, the 54 deserves a second look. While it may not have the flash of the Tri-5s, it's a favorite among hot rod enthusiasts and lowrider builders. Whether it's cruising as a street rod or tearing down the strip as a vintage gasser, this Chevy has earned its place in history. It's a car worth remembering, unlike some of the others we'll be talking about today. 1958 Chevy. Just as the 1954 Chevy was eclipsed by the Tri-5 stars, the 1958 model suffered a similar fate. As Detroit's jet-age styling grew more extravagant, with chrome multiplying and curves becoming more dramatic, cars began to resemble exaggerated versions of themselves. The 1958 Chevy leaned heavily into this trend, pairing its bold design with a brand new X-frame chassis that disrupted the clean balance perfected by the 1955 to 1957 models. Buyers weren't thrilled, and sales in 1958 dropped nearly 30% compared to the previous year. Chevy responded by going even bolder in 1959, and ironically, it worked. Sales rebounded to Tri-5 levels. Compared to other vintage Chevys on our list, the 58 isn't forgotten. It's simply overshadowed. 1960 to 1969 Chevy Corvair. Economic challenges aren't new, and the recession of 1958 was the worst since World War II. As wallets tightened, Americans began favoring smaller, more efficient cars, giving a major boost to imports like Volkswagen. Chevy responded with the Corvair, a compact rear-engine car that offered solid fuel economy, sleek styling, and performance that could hold its own against European rivals. Ford, Chrysler, and AMC quickly followed with the Falcon, Valiant, and Rambler. But early Corvairs had handling problems that were eventually fixed, though the damage was done. When Ralph Nader's book Unsafe at Any Speed came out in 1965, public perception shifted. GM discontinued the Corvair after the 1969 model year. Still, among its loyal fans, the Corvair remains a beloved little car, one that may not deserve to be called forgotten. 1975 Corvette. The 1975 Corvette stands as a symbol of the long malaise era, 1975 to 1982, a time when the third-generation Corvette struggled to live up to its name. With just 165 horsepower, less than what many economy cars offer today, it's hard to believe Chevy sold as many as they did. Still, the C3 had a solid chassis for its time. It just lacked the muscle to match its sleek, aggressive styling. Sandwiched between the impressive early C3s, 1968 to 1972, and the innovative C4, 1984, the 1975 model is often overlooked by Corvette purists. Yet like the Colonnade A-body Chevys, it remains a well-engineered platform, just waiting for the right powertrain to bring it to life. 1973 to 1976. Chevelle SS and Laguna S3. The early 1970s were a rough time for performance cars. Fuel prices spiked, emissions regulations tightened, and powerful engines were quickly swapped for low-output smog versions, while car designs and factory tooling were already locked in. Chevy's new Colonnade-style A-body, replacing the classic midsize platform, featured the best chassis and suspension the brand had offered yet. If the Chevelle SS and Laguna S3 had received the engines originally planned, They might have been among the most powerful, best handling, and arguably best-looking Chevy muscle cars ever built. But that future never materialized. To make matters worse, federal 5-mile-per-hour bumper laws forced last-minute design changes, disrupting the clean lines of these otherwise striking cars. 1975 to 1976, Cosworth Vega. If you remember the Vega, you might also remember the old garage joke: check the gas and fill the oil. Early models were plagued by engine issues, from premature ring wear to blow-by. Still, Chevy made a genuine effort to transform the lightweight compact into a true performer, with help from British engineering firm Cosworth. The result was a 16-valve DOHC 2.0-liter inline-4, 110 horsepower, built on the Vega's aluminum block. It was the first Chevy to feature electronic fuel injection and was hand-assembled in a clean room in New York, alongside some of Chevrolet's most respected engines. It was a serious attempt at fuel-efficient performance using cutting-edge tech. But with a price tag just $900 shy of a Corvette and only 3,508 units produced over 2 years, the Cosworth Vega couldn't escape the shadow of the standard Vega's troubled legacy. 1980 to 1985 Chevy Citation. If there's one car on this left-behind list that most folks can agree on, it's the 1980 to 1985 Chevy Citation. In an effort to appeal to a more budget-conscious America, GM replaced its long-running rear-drive X-Body compact with a lighter, front-wheel drive version. It offered decent interior space, but had a tiny trunk, awkward styling, and underwhelming engine options. In a bold move, Motor Trend named it the 1980 Car of the Year, celebrating Chevy's shift toward compact, fuel-efficient vehicles. But soon after, a wave of recalls hit, damaging Chevy's reputation, a stain that still lingers. Meanwhile, Chevy's mid-sized G-bodies from the same era, the Malibu and Monte Carlo, quietly became favorites among hot rod enthusiasts. The Citation, on the other hand, is a car most would rather forget, and rightly so. 2003 to 2006 Chevy SSR. In 2003, Chevy introduced the SSR, short for Super Sport Roadster, a bold blend of retro styling and modern tech. Inspired by early 50s Chevy trucks, it featured a sleek design, a retractable hardtop, an all-aluminum 5.3-liter V8, and truck-like utility thanks to its GMT 360 base chassis. On paper, it had all the ingredients of a hit, but timing was everything. That same year, Chevy discontinued the Camaro, and loyal fans saw the SSR as a pricey, underpowered replacement. Instead of embracing it, performance enthusiasts dismissed the SSR as a tone-deaf offering, similar to Pontiac's rebadged Holden Monaro GTO that replaced the Firebird and Trans Am. As much as we'd like to say the SSR deserves more love, history has spoken. This one's best left behind. 2006 to 2007, Chevy Monte Carlo SS and Impala SS. For a brief 2-year window, Chevy gave front-wheel drive fans something special. LS family V8 power in both the Monte Carlo SS and Impala SS. Built on GM's midsize W platform, these models were part of a broader push to inject performance across the lineup, especially after the Camaro was discontinued. The 5.3-liter LS4 V8 delivered 303 horsepower and had room for more, but front-wheel drive limitations kept things in check to stay within warranty safety margins. Still, it was Chevy's most affordable shot at V8-powered FWD performance. These cars rarely get the recognition they deserve. And if you're looking for something even more obscure, though not a Chevy, the LS4-powered 2007 to 2009 Pontiac Grand Prix GXP and 2007 to 2009 Buick LaCrosse Super are worth a second glance. 2011 to 2017 Chevy Caprice PPV. A 2011 car might not seem old, but in today's fast-moving world of automotive tech, the Caprice PPV is already a relic, and that's exactly what makes it appealing to hot rodders. In a rare move, Chevy imported the Zeta-based Holden sedan strictly for law enforcement, rebadging it as the Caprice PPV, police pursuit vehicle. With limited factory capacity and union sensitivities at home, Only a small number were brought in, and none were sold to the public. Now long out of production, the 335 horsepower 6.0-liter LS-powered sedan is a sleeper. Plain looks, serious performance, and auction lot affordability. The Caprice PPV is mostly forgotten, but for those in the know, it's a hidden gem waiting to be unleashed. 2014 to 2017 Chevrolet SS. Unless you're talking to a hardcore Chevy fan, mention Chevy SS, and most folks will ask, SS what? Chevelle, Impala, Camaro? Like the Caprice PPV, the Chevrolet SS was built on the Holden Zeta platform and featured some of the most understated styling ever seen on a modern Chevy. But the real story was under the hood. A 415 horsepower, 6.2-liter LS V8, paired with either the bulletproof Tremec TR60606 6-speed manual or a 6L80 automatic. It came standard with Brembo brakes and GM's magnetic ride suspension. The looks may be forgettable, but the driving experience is anything but. Unlike the PPV though, used SS prices still hover around $40,000 or more, close to its original MSRP, making it a tougher sell as a budget-friendly hot rod.